workout. The classic.
That's right. Hey guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where, as you all know, it is all about classic bodybuilding. And today's a special workout because I purchased the Arm Blaster. And today's the first time that I used it, and it's pretty awesome. I'll show you later on in this workout. But as you can see, this is a back and bicep workout. Of course, starting out with the back, doing one of my favorite back exercises first, of course, the lat pull down. Now, I normally or sometimes do the regular lat pull down on the cable, you know, with the bar, but I like this hammer strength machine as well. It gives a different kind of stretch, and especially the contraction, because the handles move independently from each other. And this means that if you have an imbalance in your back, it can be fixed using machines like this. And the first few sets were just regular pyramid sets, starting out with 15 reps, 12 reps, 10 reps, 8 reps, and every time upping the weight. Remember that, guys, up the weight every next set for progressive overload. But this is the last set. I've been doing more slow negative reps, and that means going up slower and then go down regularly. And the benefit of this is when you go up slower, you're stronger in that position, and that means you can hold it for longer, increasing the time under tension. And the longer your muscles are under tension, the more stimulus they get for growing. So it's definitely a good tool for you to use in your workouts. Alright guys, now it is time for the true bent over row. As you can see, there's a platform right there on which I will stand to give me a greater range of motion, which you will see in just a second, because the bar needs to drop lower actually than regularly possible. And as you can see, this is the old school of doing the actual bent over rows. You cannot use a lot of weight with this. Well, Arnold did, of course, but that's a different story. But that's Arnold doing the bent over row as well. And the thing about this is that this is the only way for you to stretch out completely the lats, the lower back, and the spinal erectors. And the reason that you cannot use heavy weights is because it would strain your lower back. But moreover, it is impossible to use heavy weights here and keep your form as it is supposed to be.
This is the quality.
Yeah, there was some interesting background music, but anyway, there's a difference between this and the barbell row. That's why I call them differently. The bent over row is when you put your back parallel to the floor, and the barbell row is when you basically stand upright more. Basically, you know, you also target your traps, also your lats and lower back, and you can go a lot heavier in that one, but this full range of motion is unbeatable. Try it out with a lightweight, of course. Get a feel for it and let me know what you think. You know, width-wise, so the width of my back is pretty good, but I want to work some more on the thickness, especially on the upper back. So what I'm doing right here is some hammer strength high rows, and rowing increases the back thickness, and I just did the barbell, the bent over rows for thickness, and this one specifically targets the upper back. As you can see in this motion, the upper back is squeezed, and I want to use one handle at a time to squeeze even further than normally, because if you use two hands at the same time, you're basically limited in your range of motion. One handle will give you a greater range of motion, more time under tension, and more mind-muscle connection. And again, another row to increase the back thickness. The T-bar row, one of my favorites. And again, this one will be done differently from what you are used to. I'm going all the way down using smaller plates, as you can see. This increases the range of motion because I literally almost drop to the floor with the bar. and the blue plates would simply hit the floor faster. Now this is going to be a very heavy set for me. A little too heavy actually. I can only do a couple of reps with this because of all the rowing I already did. I normally can do this, but I want to compare this with how Arnold did them just to see the classic version and why it is so important to do it like this. So what you see right here is Arnold doing them as well, full range of motion, actually dropping down to the floor until your back is parallel to the floor. This stresses your back a lot more. You can't use that heavy of a weight, and the lower the weight you can use with the same amount of stress on your muscles, the safer, the better, the healthier, the more beneficial. And because I couldn't really do a lot of reps in the last set, I decided to do another set with some pause reps. And I'm basically now blasting out another few reps after I couldn't finish the pause reps anymore, almost going to failure, making sure that I finish the T-bar row properly. And now that the back is all pumped up and filled with blood, it's time to stretch it out, and I find that this is one of the best exercises to really stretch the back out. As you can see, when I go up, I keep my body pretty much parallel to the floor, and this means that the stress, the cable, is going straight up, and that means the maximum amount of tension pulling on your back, pulling upwards. Now this puts a tremendous amount of stress on the stretching part of your back, and that really causes you to feel all the muscle fibers pull apart. Now the thing is, you have to keep your back pretty much straight like that. If you go upwards every time too much, the stretch will basically disappear. So when I go up, as you can see right here, boom, you see the stretch. You can literally see all the fibers, all the skin, everything just tightening up because of the stretch. And when you want to cause growth in your back, trust me guys, the stretch is one of the most important things you can do. So as you can see, I'm making sure that I maximize the stretch, and you guys should do this as well. You know, lower the weight if you can't do it properly, but make sure you feel that stretch. And now we're moving on to the dumbbell pullover. A different angle, a different version, you know, a different stress on the muscle. Hitting it from different angles, making sure that I hit every single muscle fiber that I didn't. But in reality, the previous exercise was truly for the lats. And this one is for the lats, but also the serratus muscle. Now, it's near my ribs. If you look closely, you can see that part of the muscle working right now. The serratus is kind of under my tank top, but you can see that that area is pulling. And that means that it's working and growing from this exercise. And it's very difficult to make it work on any other exercise. That's why the dumbbell pullover is such a good classic one, because it just gives you development that you see in the classic physiques that you simply don't see in nowadays bodybuilding. So this is one of the exercises that you simply should do. And what I also like to do is some rear delt work, usually one exercise, some rear delt flies, quite a lot of volume, starting out with 20 reps, 15 reps, 12 reps, making sure that I put a lot of volume in those rear delts, making them grow. And you can see that I'm really using them because they're contracting at the top. And now I'm changing my hand position, basically turning them around and basically making it some kind of row, because I hit failure, but I still can do some couple of reps using it this way. So it's a safe way to go beyond failure on this exercise. And now guys, the ultimate classic way of doing bicep exercises using the famous arm blaster. So I always wanted to try these out because I always saw Arnold doing these, as you can see right here. This is literally the first picture that appears when I type in arm blaster on Google. So I decided to purchase it and try it out, and I have to say it is awesome. It feels awesome. And why is that? As you can see, the arms stay in a locked position in front of your body. And what your bicep needs is to stay in front of your body, because when you go next to your body with your arms while doing curls, you lose the tension. But guess what? Now the tension stays on your biceps. As you can see, the tension stays there. And you can't do as much weight as regularly, but then you know that's a good thing, because the less weight you can use, the more stress, the more muscle fibers are targeted when doing the exercise. It basically kind of feels like a preacher curl, but still it is very different, because you know the stretch, the contraction, the movement is just it feels very different. Especially on these ones, the dumbbell version, which Arnold also did. You know, it's just a pure bicep curl. You feel your bicep and nothing else. No shoulders, no back, no nothing else. You cannot really cheat on this exercise, except if you rock your body back and forth, of course. But you shouldn't do that. And ending the workout with another classic, the concentration curl. And I decided to do it a little differently. I don't know if you can see, but I'm trying to emphasize the peak even more by bringing my arm to the other side slightly more, really concentrating on contracting those biceps as hard as I can. And the more I put it to the other side, the stronger the contraction is. You should try it out with a light weight, of course, and see how it feels for you. And that was the workout, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and trust me, there's a lot more coming, and I have an announcement to make as well. And don't forget to stay golden.